Africa and Madagascar, I would say that we're in a very good space. And why do I say this? Because when you look across the conference of Africa and Madagascar, you see a lot of energy, passion, and vibrancy because of the number of young Jesuits. It's a part of the society that is still growing. God has been very good to the society in Africa and Madagascar. Vocation has been strong, and so the formation as well has been strong. The impact we make on society in the different provinces and regions is quite remarkable. And so for me, when I think of all this, the youthfulness, the energy, the vibrancy, and the passion, I believe that the society is in a good place in Africa and Madagascar. Jesuits in Africa and Madagascar are called the same mission that the Universal Society is called to. And that is a mission of reconciliation and justice, which was defined by our 36th General Congregation. But to flesh out this mission of reconciliation and justice, the society engaged in an extended period or process of discernment in common, out of which came universal apostolic preferences. And these now define for us our orientation, our path, our direction towards the future. So as the Society of Jesus in Africa and Madagascar, we are called to show the way to God. We are called to journey with the excluded. We are called to accompany the youth. And we are called to care for our common home. So that is the direction, the path that we are walking with the universal body of the Society of Jesus. The synodality process, or the call to synodality, which Pope Francis has announced, obviously is not new, as he himself has said. You know, this is where the church is coming from. This is where the church has been, this is the path that the church has been walking for centuries. But today, Pope Francis invites us to make that the core of our walking together as a Christian, as a faith community. For me, I think it's critical. And I think if we respond positively to this call to synodality, that can transform our entire Christian Catholic community globally. And I say that because by itself, synodality is inviting us to recognize the presence, the importance, the value, and the contribution of every member of the body of Christ. It's calling us to cut across a sense of entitlement or hierarchy or clericalism and begin to see ourselves as belonging to one apostolic body where every voice counts. And for me, this is critical. As Jesuits, we are called to enter into the same dynamics. Outside of the church, there is no raison d'etre for us. We are who we are, what we are, because we are in the body of Christ, the church, because we are part of the people of God, the church. Therefore, when we are called to synodality, it's not something for the others. It's also something for us as men called to serve and follow Christ in the body of Christ. So whatever synodality entails, however we understand it, is just as true for us as the Society of Jesus. That is, journeying together, recognizing each other and one another, and paying attention to what the Spirit says to us through the body of Christ. So that for us as Jesuits, that shouldn't be take too much for us to adjust to. We pride ourselves in being the inheritors of Ignatian traditions and spirituality. And at the core of Ignatian traditions and spirituality is discerning God's voice, God's will, God's presence and action in our life and mission. So for us, I believe that as we enter into these dynamics of synodality, one of the gifts we can offer the church is the gift of discernment. Listening to the Spirit, discerning the voice of the Spirit, and acting in accordance. So I believe that however we define it, synodality is a call to the Society of Jesus to celebrate, to recognize, and also to become even more deeply aware of where we belong in the church, the body of Christ. The plenary meeting is of the Jesuit Conference of Africa and Madagascar is periodic moments when the major superiors, that is the provincials and regional superior and the assistant for Africa from Rome, meet together and assess where we are as a conference, listens to different accounts of what's going on in the conference, and attempts to discern a common response. The way I like to describe it is that it's a platform for discernment in common. So of the many issues that face us as a Society of Jesus in Africa and Madagascar, this is the one moment that we are able to gather, spend as we did during this visit, this meeting, 5 full days together, reflecting on this issue and attempting to ask ourselves, where is God calling us to in all of these issues? So it's a very privileged moment, the plenary meeting. We do this twice a year, and it's a privileged moment for really engaging in some intense discernment in common. My message to the Jesuits of Africa and Madagascar is the society expects a lot from each and every one of us. The society looks to us to take responsibility for the mission of the society. As I said, demographically, this is one of 2 places in the society where the society continues to grow. And that means that as Jesuits in Africa and Madagascar, we must now be prepared not only to lead in our provinces, in our region, we must now be prepared to take responsibility for the mission of the Society of Jesus globally. We're told that the world is our home. Well, the time is now to make that real. That the universal society is our home, is where we are called to mission. And every Jesuit in Africa and Madagascar must heed that call and must prepare himself accordingly.